Hey everybody, welcome to the Market Watch where we got this right here on Down and Dirty Investors. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with Bitcoin. Then we're going to go into the MATIC bull market and everything like that. So on the weekly chart, Bitcoin has been rejected not once but twice. It tapped the weekly candle and is there. But remember how I looked at this is the red EMA. Okay, real quick. These whitish green candles are the green candles, and the purple red ones are the red candles. Okay, green is up, greenish white is up, purple red down. Okay, now from my point of view, bull market over the 200 EMA, and at least a bullish trend. If it's not a full out bull market, we got a bullish trend, and so right now we're slightly underneath it, but overall we're above it. Now, could this be the same thing that happened way back when here in 2019 where we kind of stayed for a few months and we were over it? I think that that's what we may be looking for. Now, the future doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, okay? Unless we live in an infinite universe, and then in which case the future will indeed repeat itself at some point and an infinite amount of times, actually. But as far as our reality goes in our limited lifespan, the future doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Okay, so we're not looking for the same, we're looking for similar. And this is the same thing I want to say here. This is something I want to say here. Now, I'm not looking at these chart patterns. You see this? This was a shooting star chart pattern. Hey, that means it goes down. And then here's another one that was here. Look, I look for overall trends, the macroeconomic trends, the Chinese digital currency that they got, the digital yuan or yuan, however that goes, the RMB. Now, I looked at this before. I've said it before on my other channels and everything. And then I started seeing bigger channels repeat this. Look, Bitcoin has never gone over 6 green monthly candles. Not at all. Here was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I did a bet where I'm like, hey, this is most likely going to be a top month unless it breaks here. So what I do, hey, you sell off your Bitcoin, not all of it. You're closing up the positions. Correctly predicted that May was going to be a down month. Caught the bottom there. Now futures, it went lower. So I was looking at the futures market more than the spot market. Hey, got that 30,000. Then correctly predicted, not financial advice. Always do your own research. This is for educational purposes. Predicted the double top. Now, I was wrong here thinking it was going to come up to a W. But here, let's point to this, because a lot of people point to chart patterns and say shooting star, double this doji. But if you look at it long enough, you just realize those are finger painting bros trying to sell you something. Now, we do have a Discord, and we're not looking at things like that per se, unless it's on a smaller time frame, 15-minute, 1 hour. You know, those things, that kind of makes more sense. But on a monthly, you're falling under the macroeconomic trends. You're falling under other things that are happening. On the 1 minute chart, the 15 to 1 hour, you might be dealing with chart patterns a little more. So it depends on what you're looking at. This is the monthly chart we're looking at. This wasn't this a hanging man? There we go. Not shooting star, hanging man, shooting star, whatever these are, right? But wasn't this supposed to go down? And it did. And then boom, it came up. I can look at this on other parts of the chart where we should have fallen down. Yeah, it fell down here, but it was already going in a downtrend, right? This is an indecisive candle. But then they would say, hey, this is a bullish engulfing candle. And then what did it do? It went down. Same thing here. This engulfed that one, and then it went up. Now, I'm looking for different types of patterns. For those types of patterns that we're looking for, not the little indicator chart things or whatever like that. If you're looking for that and looking for what I have called correctly for myself, obviously, doing this research, you always got to do your own. If you want to do that, join our Down and Dirty Investors group. We've been getting these things correct on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Remember Gala before it even launched. Think about Gala. That has to be the highest performing crypto that I've seen, right? What is that? 36,000? No, not 360,000%. Where it went from the bottom area, and that's only when it officially launched. It was even lower than that before it had launched. So Gala Games, check that out. Yeah, we way back when in our other group before we created this mini group. So anyway, looking at the market right now, yeah, this is still looking pretty good. For me, this is looking good. All we're doing is retesting this. We got a gap on the CME futures market right below 20,000. We're still good. Even if we were to come to like 19.2, we're still good to go back up. So I'm not really too worried about that. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Then we're going to look at MATIC real quick. So we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. It's still below 50%, still in the bullish trend right here. I'm not as quite sure about Bitcoin dominance because I'm under the impression we may just tap 50% again, but there's no guarantee that it has to, because this is a large accumulation zone. So I'm just wondering, even the SEC is trying to flex their power, saying, hey, you know what now, or whoever that was just recently saying, hey, you know, every crypto, including Ethereum, other than Bitcoin, is either a potential security or a security. They're trying to flex it, but it didn't really work. The U.S. is losing its influence like worldwide. The U.S. is losing its influence, highly using this military to bully people into to play. So we're not going to see the same necessary impact that the words would have meant before, because now they're looking for things in the situation that's in Eastern Europe right now and Eurasia with that conflict going on. And then even the European partners saying, hey, look, I'm not going to sanction somebody just because you told me to, not right now. So it's the do as I say, not as I do approach with the Europeans, of course, because they tell everybody else the thing. But when it happens to them, they're like, hey, look, USA, I think we need to do it. Africa, lick my boot because we told you not to do this type of thing. But now they're like, hey, I need to take care of myself. So the thing we told Africa about the green energy stuff. Hey, Africa, we see you got some oil. Somebody's cutting us off. Hey, let's make a deal. Now they're starting to do those types of things because it's getting real, and it makes sense. It makes sense. But now everything's gotten exposed. USA is also losing favor and power. China's expanding its influence, and they are the leaders in cryptocurrencies. So the way I look at this is when China says something on crypto, it's going to impact the market a little bit more. But crypto has its own little field and everything. So I'm not 100% sure about the Bitcoin dominance. I see it potentially getting up to about 53, 54%, 60% max, somewhere around here to complete this if it does come up like some kind of pattern. But really, I'm looking at 50%, and then we go straight back down. And I've been saying this over and over. Bitcoin can still be a big influence even at 20%. 25% dominance. And that's where I'm overall looking at Bitcoin going down there. Now let's look at MATIC in the bull market. If you guys want me to look at different cryptocurrencies, definitely subscribe, like the video. Also join our Discord. We got a specialized price now for the first 5,000 people here as a monthly. It used to be a few $100s. Now look at the price and below for those first few. It's coming down to the, cup of coffee, a few cups of coffee a month. And there you go. So definitely look below. Join us in our Discord because we got some things we're looking at. Hey, this might go 20x. This might go 50x or something like that. Obviously, it's not financial advice. What we got is the education and looking at these patterns right here. That's what I'm looking at. Not the chart patterns where they tell you the dojis mean this or whatever. It's overall other patterns. Like, for example, let me give you an example here. So let's make it real. Now, technically speaking, they would say, hey, this is a bull flag. This is a bull flag. Hey, it goes up, or this is a bear flag, goes down, or whatever. Instead, we could look at what is the overall trend is going at. How many times have we gone up? How long have we gone up? Right? What is the price action on this? How much volume is going in? Just those things. And it's not really that much. Price action and volume combined with a few good patterns that I've found to be very effective. No pattern is guaranteed to work all the time. That's not what this world is. The world is nothing. No guarantees except passing away. No guarantees at all. Because some of those among you, you don't pay taxes if you're rich enough. The taxes are paid to you. So even that's not a guarantee. And depending on where you live, I don't know. There are some governments that may not do taxes. I don't know, not tax advice or anything like that. But the only guarantee that we do have is passing away. Other than that, no guarantee. Not even when we will. So here it is. MATIC right now, weekly, it's in the bull market. Daily, it's in the bull market. From my view, if it comes down here, I see here based on the monthly. Let's look at this. I see this performance similar to over here, except not as deep. So we can go down to about, based on looking to the left, about 97 to 95, maybe 92 at the lowest, and then come right back up. You know how Bitcoin did its old. Now, if we underperform this month, and I will say that as underperforming, I don't care that this pattern is this way. It depends on how some of the macroeconomic trends go. But if we underperform this month for MATIC, I would say we're going below 75 cents because that's the open of this candle. We're going below 75 cents. But right now, MATIC has shown me that it's been in a good accumulation area right here. It's popped out of it. It's still got a little bit to go, maybe down to 94, 92 cents if we complete this, but it's kind of already done it. It's right in this accumulation right here, which is over here in the tops of here. That means we're ready to go up. Now, we ain't going to do the finger painting bro stuff where we start drawing a whole bunch of stuff. Notice this chart doesn't have anything on it. I just don't like to distract because sometimes I put a line for targets and that's it. But I don't want to do the finger painting, bro. We start doing this. It could go up. It could go down. And then no matter what, I'm always around and right. Okay. Yeah, it could go up. It could go down. Yeah. I understand why people have to say that because it's not financial advice. What I do is I'm sticking to my lean. I have a bias. My bias is right here. We're going up. I'm not going to say it could go up, it could go down. Now, I'll say it's going up and then where I see where it could go. And then I'm prepared to have a buy area. In this case, there is no buy area for me. Anything I got from MATIC, I got it already. Anything that I see there. Now, let's look. Where are we looking at here? What's another one that we can look at? Now, DYDX was doing pretty well. Let's see what happened to them. Didn't look pretty. Now, they went under $2. I think DYDX has some pretty good potential. Let's look at the weekly chart right here. That's not looking good at all. Let's look here at the monthly. Oh yeah, I think we're really pretty much about extended out. Now, this assumes that this follows the rest of the trend in the market, which means we go up, which is where my bias is. Again, I'm sticking to that bias, the short term, whatever this is looking like. And from how I'm assuming now, is that we either end up as a neutral candle on the monthly, so it's an indecisive, or we're just going to go green. That's where I'm looking at. I really don't see, if we finish red, I'm actually surprised on many of these cryptos. DYDX, I'm less sure because it's not as... it doesn't follow the trends from my view of other cryptocurrencies. So I'm talking about just if I pull up any particular cryptocurrency and just say, hey, let's look at Bitcoin because that's a little bit easier. I'll look at Ethereum in just a second. Like here, this hasn't gone all the way down. So DYDX is obviously falling a little bit more than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can come down, like I said, retesting and scraping in, closing that gap around 19,000s. Yeah, I can see that happening. That'll be actually A-okay. Let's look at Ethereum. Since the SEC had a bunch of words for Ethereum, let's go to Bitstamp. And Ethereum really hasn't even, it dropped that much. It's still in the 15,000s. It's still in a good area. So, I mean, I've been looking at Ethereum. It's been like 15,000s for what? Here it is, 2 months or whatever. Or not 15,000, 1,500s. So every time I look at Ethereum, like I literally just glance at it. It's like, okay, 1,500 something, 1,500, 1,500, 1,600. I really didn't even notice when it went to the 1,700 area or whatever. Like, and that didn't last that long anyway. It's basically, I've seen it at 1,500, and occasionally 1600 a few times. But every time I glance at it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's a little bit stabilized there. It's accumulating, ready and willing for a takeoff. Now, it could bark pattern down. See, that's the thing. See, people would, that's another one of those farce chart patterns where they say it's a bark pattern, bark pattern. You can only see that after the fact. What's the difference between a bark pattern and a bull flag or a bear flag? Like, we can't really tell it. There is something that I have found to be more accurate to determine a bark pattern, but I'd rather not say it in like the public sphere and keep it to the Discord people, because that's extra information. Now, for the most part, bark patterns are very, very difficult to see ahead of time. But there are a few things that I've seen that have said, okay, I've been more accurate in this bark pattern thing than not, as far as being able to call them out. Right? But for the most part, if somebody says, hey, here's a bark pattern, I saw that ahead of time. Did you really see this right here as a bark pattern, or even this one? Did you see this as a bark pattern? Was it because of this? Because that didn't really do anything now, did it? Did you really see that this was going to go down, instead of saying, hey, it's going up and it's just kind of going to accumulate? And then they say, hey, because these finger painting bros, they say it could go up, it could go down, but here you go and all around. And then they give you all of these rhymes and stories and narratives. No, we're here to analyze. We're here to make money. We're here to see the technology flow, because the technology flows, more adoption, more money is made. As far as that more ease of use, the more people use these cryptocurrencies for their daily life, it may improve their lives. So there are many reasons why we, and I say we as in the public, are in cryptocurrencies. Now, for the people that want to make money, hey, we got those the ones where we're analyzing, thinking that they may go 20x, 50x, 5x, and all of those. Join our Discord. Look in the description below. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you like this content. We're going to see you on the next video. All right? Catch you all later. And if you got anything that you would like me to analyze, me to look at any cryptocurrency, not those newly listed ones, I'm going to tell you I'm very skeptical about anything that's newly listed. If it got listed just the other day, 2 months ago, even 3 or something like that, I'm just like, for the most part. I just don't know. It got to have something with a chart. I'm very chart heavy based, and that's where I'm at. That's what's going to be my strength. That means that leaves me open to some weaknesses. But hey, I'd rather look at something that has a chart and be a little bit safer than to look at something that doesn't and then say, well, this could go 1000x. Okay, great. It could go 1000x. But knowing crypto and the vast majority that just go down 99% or just lose so much, I'm not taking my chances with that. I'll stick to the ones that already got a chart, got a history of 6 months, a year, 2 years or something like that, and get my good 20x, 50x, right? And if you get that enough times on top of each other, you already got your 1000x, really. Okay? Not financial advice, not tax advice, not legal advice. Do your own research. Catch you all on the next one. Peace.